Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Discriminating Gamer. You know, the other day at work, my boss gave me a Get Better card. I told him I wasn't sick. He said, I know. Get better at everything. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at Black Orchestra, The Resistance from Tabletop Tycoon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Black Orchestra, The Resistance and Expansion. Black Orchestra is a great game, one of my all-time favorite cooperative games. It's a theme I really, really enjoy. Of course, killing Hitler. Who doesn't like that? You are members of the German military and civilian resistance to Hitler in 1942, 43, 44, thereabouts. And of course, you're going to different locations. You're gathering items. You are looking for plots that you can hatch. And you're trying to maximize your dice on one very special die roll to take out Adolf Hitler. It is a tremendously, tremendously fun game that I've always enjoyed. And I was super excited when they recently, of course, released an expansion and then Valkyrie, which is kind of a standalone condensed version of the game, which I have already reviewed. Now, this new Resistance expansion actually comes with not one, but three new ways to play the game. There are three different modules, and it's not really recommended to play with any of them together, but each one brings something new and unique to the game, and I played through all of these modules at least once. And let's go ahead. I'll tell you a little bit about each module, and then I'll tell you what I think. Now, the first mission is Rotkapelle, Red Orchestra, and what you're doing here is you have missions. You have a little board you place off to the side of the main board, and there are a number of tokens on there, and you have the different colored mission tokens. And one of the things you can do on your turn is you can place a mission token. So you can place it on any location on the board, and then you can actually get a mission card and place it out there. This is a side mission, something you can do to complete that will give you a reward. And critically, if you complete it, they will add up a cumulative to give you extra dice on your die roll against Hitler during a plot. So these are very, very important. So you want to collect these. But if ever a deputy moves into a space with one of these mission tokens, Hitler or a deputy, you lose it. So what you can do is you can actually put out up to two of these tokens on the board. So if you lose one, you still got one that holds that mission there in place. And you can do that for, as I say, three different missions in three different colors. But then there's also a few different kinds of tokens that the missions will direct you to put out on the board as well. So as you're going throughout the board doing the things you regularly do in the game, you're also going after these side quests, again, to help you out, to give you rewards, and to make killing Hitler easier in the end game. You also have some cards you're going to mix in with the event cards during the game, but that's essentially how Red Orchestra plays out. Now, the second module is Horst Kopkow, or Kopkow as we like to call him. But Horst Kopkow is essentially a Gestapo investigator who is going around the board trying to make things more difficult for the conspirators. Now, essentially how he works is, again, you have more cards that you're going to mix into the event decks that will kind of do funky things with him. He's got his own investigation deck. You have a little board with an investigation deck and a discard. And what he is going to do is, at the end of your turn, he is going to move toward the conspirator with the highest suspicion rating. Now, if ever he ends his turn in a space with any of the conspirators, then you are going to have to draw an investigation card from the investigation deck. Now, some of these things are not terribly bad. Some of them are better than others. Some of them can be kind of skunky. Oftentimes, there's choices that you have to make, and you do the best of the bad choices. So there's different things that are going to happen if he ends up in your space, which is not good. However, he's only got to think about 18 of those cards, and as soon as that deck runs out, if the conspirators have not won the game and that deck runs out, they lose the game. Now, you also do have an action here, and that is diversion. You can roll the dice and roll a die, and what you do is you don't want to roll the eagle. If you roll anything but the eagle, you can move Kopkow to any location. So you can back him up, you can move him away from you. But if you roll the eagle, then your suspicion increases. Finally, the third module is the Kreisau Circle. Now, how the Kreisau Circle works is you put an ally board off to the side of the main board. You actually put out 3 face-up allies that are located there. You double the number of tokens, item tokens, you're going to put on the board, and there's different items that are going to come up. And so when you do it at the beginning of the game, you put the items out there, you actually stack 2 items in every space instead of just 1. Now, there's a couple of things you can do here. If you go to a space and you want to uncover both tiles, you have to roll a die. Now, if you roll a die and you get anything but the eagle, you can go ahead and uncover both of those items. If you roll the eagle, your suspicion goes up. So you're going to find some new items here. For instance, you might find an item that will allow you either to raise your motivation or to lower Hitler's military support. You may find a Gestapo raid. That's right, the Gestapo's out there, and they may be able to crack down on you just like if you drew the event card. You also have the any item, which essentially it's a wild card. You can use that in place of any of the items you need for a plot. Critically, you will find the ally tokens. Now, if you uncover an ally token, you leave it there. But if you, on your turn, if you have another turn, you can attempt to recruit an ally. And here, if you roll the target or the eagle, nothing happens. But if you roll a 1, 2, or 3, you can choose which ally you want to go ahead and add to the board. Now, just having an ally on the ally board is going to make it easier to complete the plot, because if you've got fewer allies, you've got things that are working against you. You got to maybe roll an extra target. There's bad things. But the more you get, the better off you are. I think if you have 4, you break even, and then beyond that, it actually helps you. So you want to have a lot of these guys on the board. But these allies will also give you one-time benefits. Now, if you use that benefit, you can go ahead and flip the ally over. Now, the ally is still there. It's still taking up a space to help you, but you can no longer do its ability. You can only do it once per game. But these abilities can do all sorts of things to help you and get you in a better position to make your die roll against Hitler. If ever Hitler or a deputy moves into a space with an ally token, the ally token disappears. Now, in addition to the different modules, you have new conspirators that you can play in the game as well. So in playing each of these modules, you are still going after Hitler. You're still trying to get that dynamic die roll at the end to take him out. But you've got these new individual modules that are helping you get there along the way, or hindering you, as the case may be. And of course, if you do manage to take out Hitler, then you win! Black Orchestra, the Resistance. We'll get back to the review in just a moment. I want to take a minute to ask you to check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about history, books on history, military history. I even post some of my lectures for my classes on there. Please check that out. Please subscribe to that channel. And now, back to the review. Okay, so once again, I love Black Orchestra. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And I was very concerned. I don't know if concerned is the right word. I was looking forward to an expansion, but I was wondering, because sometimes the base game is so interesting as it is. I was wondering how they could improve it. I was really kind of skeptical. I went in on the Game Found for it. I invested in that because I wanted to see how the game played out. And I was also excited about Valkyrie, which is the standalone game. But I was kind of concerned. I'm wondering how this is going to actually work. Will it make the game better? Well, as I say, we played through all 3 of the modules. Now, the first module is really, really interesting because it introduces these side missions. And as you're doing the things you want to do, you can choose to go on these side missions, which will help you, which puts you in a more advantageous position to enact a plot. And so I really liked that, and I liked the variety of the missions that came out, and the different things that could happen, and the frustration when you're robbed of the tokens on the board and that gets rid of the missions. I actually really liked the Red Orchestra module quite a bit. The Kopkow module is a lot of fun too, because it's a little more dangerous. And you're trying to avoid those encounters, but sometimes it's hard because, of course, you only have a limited number of actions to do the things you want to do. and you can't always push him away. So sometimes he's going to get somebody. And the encounter cards are fun. It's kind of almost like the interrogation cards. You know, you're not really discussing them with people, but it kind of adds a new level to the game there where you have to have hidden information. And it's really cool to have a cooperative game with some hidden information in it. And so that's fun and that's scary. And that's a fun little thing that's going on the board throughout the game. I really enjoyed that. And then finally, the Kreisau Circle with the allies. This actually is very similar to the main mechanism in Valkyrie, which is all about getting allies to help you, right? This one works a little bit differently here, where you got the allied tokens. You got all these different kinds of tokens. I really like the any items, which are very helpful. I don't like the Gestapo raids, which kind of hurt things, but they're a lot of fun. But I really did enjoy, again, the tough choices that come with when do we use these allied abilities and which ally do we want to recruit, right? There's some really fun choices you make in that scenario as well, in the module as well. And some of those die rolls to either look at the items or to recruit an ally, they can be incredibly fun and frustrating as well. So what I'm saying is all three of these modules add a lot to your game of Black Orchestra in a good way. When I say they add a lot, they don't add a ton, but what they add feels like a lot. It feels like you're getting all sorts of new goodies in your game. Of the three, the first one, Red Orchestra, is my favorite. I like doing the side missions. I really like that. But I like the other two as well. I like recruiting the allies in Kreisau Circle, and I like the Kopkow guy chasing you around. All three of them are tremendous fun. This is a case where I was skeptical that you could enhance the base game with the expansion, and I was proven wrong. I'm eating crow. It's really, really good here. I really like it. Now, I should point out, too, it also comes with the little standees that you can place Hitler and the deputies in to move them around, which is pretty cool. It's an easier way to... They don't get lost as easily on the board. Just the little tokens. You can move them around in the standees, which I really liked, and I think the game probably needed for the core, right? But I really, really liked that. All told, like I say, this expansion is excellent. It's just excellent. They knocked it out of the park. Black Orchestra is a great game. I'll tell you this right now. If I'm teaching it to new people, and I do play this game with my students sometimes, if I'm teaching this to new people, I don't know. I'll probably just still do the base game. But if I'm playing it for fun with my friends, I'm definitely going to throw in one of these modules. They're just that good. It does enhance the game considerably. So on the Cody scale as an expansion, I'm going to rate Black Orchestra: The Resistance a 9. It's excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we'd ask you to please leave a comment for us here on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, on X. We really love to hear from you. I'd also ask you to go ahead and check out my other channel, that is Cody Carlson, PhD, where we talk about military history, books on history, fun things like that. And if you do really enjoy the content you see here on The Discriminating Gamer, I would humbly ask you to click on the Super Thanks button and leave a tip. Why do people in the theater say break a leg? Because every play needs a cast.
We're just about to assassinate Hitler. Ray's got 6 dice. We only have to roll 3 targets. I've got a re-roll I can get him. We're pretty excited.
All right. Okay. So, I'm going to have 1 action left. So, I am going to sniper him.
Okay.
I'm reckless. That gets me 1 dice.
Okay.
I'm abware. That gets me 1 dice.
Okay.
I have weapons and any item for a weapon. That gets me 2 dice.
Okay.
I have intel. That gets me 1 more dice. I have this concealed pistol. That gets me 1 more dice. I have 6 dice.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, now we have
3.
All we need is 3.
We need 3 targets, and I've got a reroll card.
We have +1.
+1. We only got to get 2.
I only need 2.
We only need 2.
I only need 2 successes. Oh. That's why it's going to be an epic failure.
Okay, all right, come on.
Come on.